we're going to talk about just how much money Pfizer and Moderna shareholders literally just made off the Omicron virus, because we just talked about how the media has portrayed the Omicron virus as this alarmist thing that now we have to ban travel restrictions from all these African countries and how we have to have these measures. And then you have people like Walker Bragman demanding lockdowns, even though it's a milder, strain. They're creating a storm in a teacup. It's unnecessary. The WHO, the World Health Organization, is demanding us to stop. Well, now let's look at how much money in just 10 days Pfizer and Moderna shareholders made. So they have pocketed in euros about 7.8 billion in a week after Omicron was discovered, which comes out to about $10 billion. And just this is, of course, from the Daily Mail, I believe. And I'm just going to go over some key points, because the Moderna CEO, Stéphane Bancel, saw stocks increase by 623 million. I think that's pounds, actually. So top shareholders and bosses at Pfizer and Moderna made 3.9 billion each. Campaigners slammed companies for creating the conditions for new variants. And these are the top shareholders, and combined, like I said, it's $10 billion in stocks growth just 1 week, actually, less than 10 days, 1 week after they discovered the Omicron virus. And their shares, right, rose by 7.4% and 13.6% respectively in the 7 days leading up to November 30th, after South Africa alerted the world that the mutant strain was there on November 24th. So quickly you can see that between the 8 of them, they made about $10 billion in American dollars. Moderna chief executive Stephen Bancel pocketed $824 million in share growth alone and sold 10,000 of his own stocks for $319 each on November 26th, equaling a total of $3.19 million upfront. And some of these experts have blamed Britain and other Western countries for the emergence of the variant because they did not share sufficient spare vaccine doses for the rest of the world. And this is the part I want to discuss with the left, right? Because again, Pasta, I'm bringing it up again. A lot of the left says, oh, they're terrible. The rich are only getting vaccines. They're not sharing with the rest of the world. Yeah. And so they're getting slammed for this vaccine inequality that they're helping create. But the former prime minister, Gordon Brown, last week claimed rich nations not sharing vaccines with the rest of the world is now coming back to haunt us with the emergence of these variants. Yet other experts suggested low vaccination rates in South Africa are more down to vaccine hesitancy, stifling demand so much that it's had to delay delivery of dose rather than a lack of supply. Like I said before, they don't want your vaccines. These African nations are hesitant with the vaccines. So have many South American nations been hesitant. I don't know. We can discuss why later on Rokfin Only. But I will say that it's not because these people kept it from them. There's a business to be made. Of course, these people are going to want to make profit. They're going to make it seem like it's scarce. So that's what they've been doing. But it's not just that people can't have access to them. It's that people don't want them. And South Africa's Deputy Director General of the Department of Health, Dr. Nicholas Chris, said that the country has plenty of vaccine and capacity, but hesitancy is a challenge. So they're telling you straight up right there that it's not that there is a vaccine apartheid, that people are keeping these vaccines from them. No, they have plenty of vaccines. People just aren't taking them. And this is from the word of mouth from the people in these countries. So please, can the left stop?
Yeah, it's a weak argument anyways.
That, it's because we were not providing. No. A lot of indigenous populations, Black Americans, and people from third world countries use other methods, and they do not necessarily want vaccines. Now, we can discuss later on why that is, but that is a fact that has been named multiple times. So enough with that argument, okay? If you want to say anything on that before I move on.
Well, no, I just say it's a weak argument to say that, to say, well, if these vaccines don't work, then why are we just denying them from smaller countries that really need them and stuff? Why only the rich taking them? That's just a dumb argument, because we'll save it for Rokfin.
Yeah, okay.
We'll save it for Rokfin.
We'll save it for Rokfin. So the last few things I want to show on this section that's going to go on YouTube is who made the most money after the emergence of Omicron out of Pfizer shareholders. So here are the Pfizer shareholders. You can see Vanguard Group Inc., BlackRock, State Street Corp, Capital World Investors. You can see what they made in pounds. This is, which is a lot more in dollars if you do the exchange. And then you can see CEO Albert Bourla. You can see how much they made, a total of $3.9 billion. And of course, these are familiar friends, right? Vanguard Group, BlackRock. These people are involved in everything. And they also have ties to none other than Bill Gates, which I didn't even have time to put in the folder this time because those ties go deep. And now this is the Moderna, right? The Moderna shareholders, Bailey Gifford and Company, Vanguard Group Inc. again, BlackRock Incorporated, flagship pioneering, Stéphane Bancel, which is the CEO, and total 3.9 billion. So these people have gotten rich just in a week after this whole thing began. And I just want to point that out. If people are getting rich off of this, because somebody was like, saying like how it's I'm pro-capitalist for not wanting mandates, which makes zero sense whatsoever. But these people are getting rich. There is a for-profit motive here to push for this, right? And so you have to think of those things in terms of, you can't separate that. This doesn't exist. Vaccines don't exist in a vacuum. Big pharma doesn't exist in a vacuum. There's people, powerful people connected to making money off of this whole thing. So COVID doesn't exist in a vacuum. So you can't just ignore that so it can fit in your little fucking progressive narrative just because you want to feel good about saying the vaccines are safe and effective because that's what the CDC says. There is more to, okay, fine. Even if I were to say that was true, there is a profit motive behind all this, and you can't ignore that and pretend that doesn't have any say. It would be like ignoring your favorite politician taking dark money, Jen, and just because you believe that they're a good person. That's what a lot of the progressives are doing, and it's got to stop. So
yeah, and they invite them in through the front door. The whole thing that your defense against vampires are voided if you invite them in yourself, and they keep inviting these vampires in, and all you have to do, fam, is follow the money. You said it right there. You show it in black and white. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that there's so much censorship going on, and there's discussions about other alternatives, it should make alarms go off in your head. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why people are being censored and shut down.
Yeah.
And so these guys right here, that list of all those people you just showed right there, can make billions of dollars, and at the end of the day, they'll make trillions of dollars. And they don't really, not for nothing. I think the history of big pharma has showed us that they really don't care for human beings, whether it be the mesothelioma from Johnson & Johnson, which would be manipulating information by Pfizer. I mean, the list goes on. Blood clots from these. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. And the sad thing is that these were the lobbyists and the people that progressives were railing against going back 5-6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It was all about these people in particular. And now they're carrying water for them, and it really is sad.
Exactly.